You're watching The Mom View, sponsored by the Herzog Foundation. Our guests today know what it means to live the American dream. Neither of them wants to see the opportunity for success in America die. Today, we're talking with successful entrepreneurs about some of our country's problems and what we can do to solve them. Keeping our country strong and thriving is not only good for us, it's good for the world. Today on The Mom View. Welcome to The Mom View. I'm Vanessa Fora.
I'm Kimberly Fletcher.
And I'm Debbie Corlitis. Welcome.
This is going to be another good show. So Vanessa, I don't know if you know this, but our first guest, we were on tour with him last year.
Joe from Texas.
Joe from Texas. We love that guy. It's gonna be good talking to him. And we're talking about the American dream. I just was wondering, what's your American dream?
Oh my goodness. My own version of the American dream. It started when I was young and, coming to the United States and living the life that my family and I always dreamed about. And, as we progressed and our lives kept getting better and better and better. And we realized that not just knowing about freedom, it's a great feeling, but living it on a daily basis in the freest country in the world, it's beyond imaginable. It's truly a blessing.
Sure is.
I think just living in America is definitely the American dream.
It sure
What's your
is.
American dream?
You know what? I mean, I think sometimes the simpler is better, right? You find someone that you love, that you trust, that you honor. You have a chance to raise a family, love them, teach them, train them, and then take advantage of the opportunities that America gives you. It is a place for us to hope and dream, to see our kids live out their dreams. I think it's just a wonderful place of opportunity. And I'm forever thankful for all of the relationships and family and friends. It's good.
And it reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from Condoleezza Rice, that it doesn't matter where you come from, or it doesn't matter who you are. What matters is where you're going in America, because everything is possible.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I'm living my American dream.
Yes.
Our family lives like the Waltons, and I can't think of a better American dream. People think we're crazy.
Literally, they all live together. They sure do.
Almost. One of my sons lives 5 minutes away. I do have a couple that live in other states. But yeah, 6 of my grandchildren live within 5 minutes of me, and 4 of them live in our home. Now, they do have parents that come with them. It's like, I was at this event, and this guy was like, everybody keeps talking about their grandkids, like, it's all about the grandkids once you have grandkids. And he's like, I don't think I want to get married because I don't want to get lost in the fray. I'm like, yep, I can tell you, as Nana, the kids, they were about the grandkids.
I'm not there yet. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be the best thing ever. But I am definitely living the American dream.
We're also
no
thankful.
Doubt. Yeah, no doubt we live in the greatest country on earth. Coming up, he achieved his American dream by doing what people have done since the beginning of time. He filled a need. Joe Penland, better known as Joe from Texas, joins us to talk about getting our country back on track.
The Herzog Foundation exists to catalyze and accelerate the development of quality, Christ-centered K-12 education so that families and culture flourish. To do so, we've created comprehensive programs designed for Christian schools across the nation. One of those programs is found at readlion.com. The Lion carries news articles covering issues especially related to the education of children. These are timely, critical, must-read articles for families, educators, and leaders. Another program is the Herzog Foundation Institute, where we provide training for Christian educators led by national thought leaders in subjects such as marketing, donor development, and culture building. All training events are fully funded by the Herzog Foundation. And finally, with new Christian schools popping up all over the country, we've created a free online resource to help with the process. HF Schoolbox provides lessons and free mentorship to help launch groups navigate the startup process every step of the way. We're the Herzog Foundation. You can find out more at herzogfoundation.com.
There is power in being a mom because we truly care. Nobody's going to care more about your children than you. And that's what this group is about, is real women getting together to fight real battles for our country.
Moms for America is a national movement of moms reclaiming our culture for truth,
family, freedom, and the Constitution.
And I will tell you, I'm a journalist, but I am a mama bear. And I am a mama bear till the last breath in my body. And that's the most important thing I've ever done with my life.
Never, never underestimate the mother who's protecting her child. She will outfight fear. She will outlast danger. And she will outlove the world. And you surely do not mess with Mama Bear.
You can't push anything on our kids. We will stand up for our kids no matter what the consequences may be.
Moms for America is one of the most important organizations in saving our republic.
There are eyes, there are ears, and they're the most fierce fighters for our kids that we will ever know.
Every mission has two parts, those who give and those who do. And when we come together, we are stronger together in fulfilling that mission. An investment in Moms for America is an investment in the future. And we literally hold the future of America in our hands.
Joe Penland, or Joe from Texas as he is known, achieved his American dream by solving a problem for his employer. He developed specialized mats that allow heavy equipment to operate in muddy conditions, and Joe's successful business was born. Now he's committed to getting our country back to financial strength and wealth. Welcome, Joe, to the Mom View.
Thanks for having me.
Or Mr. Joe.
I really
from Texas.
appreciate it. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And then,
So,
hey, we have to just say,
yes,
it's Joe
from Texas.
Yeah, I heard that a lot.
Yeah, we loved being on tour with you.
Yeah,
It was great. And you taught us a lot about your passion, which is Social Security. And I don't think people realize just how much it affects all of us. You think Social Security is when you get old, you're over, I don't even know what it is now, over 65, and you start taking money from that you've put into the government. But it's disabled people. It passes on to your loved ones if you pass away. I mean, there's multiple people that are affected by this. And I'm a little older than but I won't say that. But the young folks today, they think it doesn't have anything to do with them. But the fact is they're paying into a system that they're not going to take advantage of. And it was being on the tour that I really understood just how much it affected us.
I'd like to start with, how did all this come about, Mr. Joe? Saving Social Security is your passion. How did that all start?
Well, saving Social Security is important for 340 million Americans. It's not just important for the 70 million people that are drawing it. Because you look at our economy, we're spending $1.2 trillion a year on Social Security. That money's coming in, we're putting it back out. We're taking some out of the surplus to add to it. But if you cut that by 400 or 500 billion, that's going to help wreck this economy. We need all the money going into the economy that we can muster up. We need jobs. We need people taking money out and buying things and making this economy go. If you hit a program like Social Security with 25 or 30% cut, this country will see a free fall on our economy.
Wow.
So it affects the whole entire economy?
It affects the whole entire economy. When me and Linda go out, I'm 75 years old. She's a little younger than me. We go out after church on Sunday and eat about 2 or 3 o'clock. Most people are our age. Okay, we go out and spend our money. Right. We go to the movie. We go out to eat. Some people play around a golf or do whatever they do. If you cut that family 30%, 25 or 30%, they're not going to go out. They'll be scared to death to spend anything. So that money will affect that waiter, that waitress, and everybody else that works for us. When you ride an airplane, you fill the plane up.
Right.
You have to wait to shut the door. Over half the people on the plane's my age. What if we stay home? What's the ticket going to cost you then?
That's
Double,
a very
triple.
good point.
We have to have Social Security. It was promised to America in 1935. It's been around a long, long time. It's arguably the best program this country's ever had. It's for the American people. A lot of people don't have the ability to save. A lot of people are working payday to payday.
Right.
But we hold money out of your check, the government does, and your employer matches it. And it's there for you, and you mentioned it earlier. It's there for you if you retire. It's there for you if you get sick.
Right.
If you pass away and have children, it's there for them. I've lived all aspects of that.
So it's in a crisis situation, obviously, right now, right? It's not going to be there for our kids or
what happens when it's not there?
grandchildren, or where are we going with all this, Joe?
Well, it'll be there. Social Security is a pay-as-you-go program.
Okay.
It's an insurance program. It's not a retirement program. Nobody would be foolish to think that's your retirement program. It's not. It's an insurance program. If you live to be 65, then you draw Social Security. 62 if you draw it early.
Okay.
If you get hurt, you draw Social Security.
Right.
If you pass away, your family draws it. So that's an insurance policy. It's not a retirement policy. If you work somewhere for 2 weeks and you join their 401k and you come down with a stroke, they're not going to pay your family for 18 years while they go to school. That's an insurance program. People have been it's a misconception that it's your retirement. It's not. It's there for you for, God forbid, whatever happens. My father had a stroke when I was 7 in 1957. It paid our bills a little bit, helped Mom along the way. She took in our earnings for the neighbors. Then he died a few years later. We drew a check for him when he was alive. We drew a check after he passed away. And now me and Linda draw a check and we give it to charity because we don't need it. Most people need it.
Right.
Most people need it. And right now you have 70 million Americans on Social Security. 59% of those Americans are ladies, women. With some of them with children. Wouldn't it be a disgrace for them to take a cut?
Well, my
I don't
dad
trust
passed.
the government, Joe.
Yeah, I was just going to say my dad passed away when I was like 14, and that was because Social Security and some retirement my dad had, but that was all my mom had. You know, yeah.
And in 1980, it went bankrupt, right? And President Reagan saved it. Do you think we can be able to achieve that again this time around? So
Absolutely.
explain to us how in the most simplistic way so that our moms who are listening can understand.
Because I don't trust the government and I don't think it's going to be there. So if you have a solution, I definitely want to hear it.
Okay. Well, if it's going to be there unless they discontinue Social Security.
Okay.
It can go down in value. Where instead of drawing 100%, you can draw 72%, or if it gets worse, it'll be 60. If we don't fix it, you mentioned Ronald Reagan, 1980, when he ran for president, got elected, sworn in 81. 3 or 4 months later, he put a commission together with 5 Democrats, 5 Republicans, and 5 people from the business sector to go out and see what they could do to solve Social Security's problem. It was bankrupt. You're right. They started drawing out the different trust funds to shore it up. Okay, they did that. In about 18 months, they came back 3 or 4 times with different solutions. They took it to Congress, the president did. It passed overwhelmingly bipartisan support. They made some adjustments, and that was going to last 50 years. They signed the law in 1983. It's supposed to run to 33. It's going to run out in 32 because of COVID and some other things. But we can fix it. We can put that same commission together today, not the same people, but do the same thing.
Still bipartisan commission.
It's a bipartisan commission. Do the same thing, but do it now while we still have some money in the trust fund. You talk about it running out. In 2021, Social Security still had $2.9 trillion surplus.
Okay.
Not in the hole, but now it's overcoming us. You know, when this program started in 1935, when Roosevelt started it, they took 1% out of your check. Your employer matched it. The first check didn't go out for 5 years till 1940. But when it went out, there was 160 of us paying for one person getting a check. There's 2.4 of us paying now for every check that goes out. We've outgrown the program.
It's more than doubled.
People live to be 60. We live to be 80.
Right.
We're outliving the program. We have to adjust it. It can be fixed. We can change the ratio of what we're doing, just like Reagan them did. But we can't ignore it. If we do, we're going to have that cut, or it's going to go away to where it's not even enough. You take a lady right now with 3 kids.
Right.
You give her a 30%, 25 or 30% cut when she's barely getting by now.
Yeah.
You're going to devastate that lady.
People
And
are
she's not going
relying
to go
on it.
spend no money.
My mom's on Social Security. She can't afford a cut.
No.
She was getting my dad's Social Security, but that, for whatever reason, that's running out. I want to have to ask you why, because you're telling me that it just keeps passing on. She's about to have a major cut in her support.
No, it is a cut
we're
coming.
filling in because that's what family does. Your family's supposed to be there and support.
Yes.
But not everybody has that opportunity.
Everybody doesn't have the means to help, but most people will do just like you're doing. If your mom and dad are struggling, you're going to help them. So if they take a 25 or 30% cut, then you look at all the families in this country that are just starting their family, that's paying their house note and everything. Younger people, 35, 40, 50, they're going to have to step in and help mom and dad. That's going to put a hardship on them that they don't deserve.
Yeah.
Right.
So we can fix that. I mean, we send trillions of dollars around the world, hundreds of billions of dollars to countries almost every month. Why don't we spend that money here?
Now
We can-
you've hit my button. Bring it back home.
Right.
Yeah, let's
so
just-
it's
we can
right.
do it.
America first.
America first.
Basically,
Yeah.
we need to be investing in America. How did you come up with Save Social Security? Why did this resonate so passionately with you?
Well, again, being on Social Security, when I was a child and so forth, my brother that was a year older than me passed away 2 years ago. So he was on Social Security when he was 8 years old and I was 7. And then when he was 23, he had a stroke. And he was on Social Security for 2.5 years till he got better. And he went back and worked 4 decades. And then he retired. So he drew all 3 kinds of Social Security as a child for himself when he was disabled. And then he drew it as a retirement. So it was there for him the whole time. And it needs to be there for every American the same way. And it can be. All we have to do is go in there and look at the things that we can shore it up with. What did they do back then? Well, they went from 4% to 6.2 holding out your check. It started, remember, at 1%. The other thing they did, they changed the retirement age a little bit. They did that. Now, you don't change the retirement age when somebody's fixing to retire next year. You phase it in over about 20 years. Okay, so they moved some things. They even started bringing money in from other sources, and they did that. And we can do that now. I want the president to take some of his tariff money if the Supreme Court to get their head out of the sand, and let us take that tariff money and shore up Social Security with it. That way 340 million people get a benefit, not just the farmers or some select group. And we can do that because those countries have robbed us for many, many years. The jobs went there, and everybody's had to pay for that.
So did you run all this by the president?
I've run a little of it by him. Yeah, I have.
So he's going to get back with you. And I do agree with you. If he says that he's not going to cut, or if he says that he's going to,
save it or try to
save it. And he's proven that he's putting America first.
He is. I mean, he is a man of his word. Look what he said about immigration. The previous administration said you have to let 10 or 11,000 people come across every day because I don't have the money to fix the border. He ain't built any border wall. But it went from 11,000 people a day to 0. He fixed that. Just think of that. Now we're back to drilling again, and thank God we are because of what's going on around the world with foreign oil and everything. So I'm glad he did that. He's bringing $5 to $6 trillion worth of economy back to this country. People invest in this country to build things. Let me tell you a quick story about the border camp, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I built the floors on the border camps, our company. Okay. We had them from California to Florida.
Wow.
When the former president was there, we had 10 border camps on the ground, and they were a disaster. You build a camp for 1,000 people, you go back later, 7,500 people there. It was unbelievable what people had to go through.
Former president meaning Joe Biden?
Former president meaning Joe Biden. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I had them back there when Obama was there. I had them when Trump was there the first time, but 10. I got 1 on the ground now. What does that tell you? We don't need as many anymore. Because they're not coming across the border. And I'm not telling you what a politician told me.
Are you complaining that you lost business, or are you excited
no,
about
I'm
it?
excited. I hope
That's a good report.
A good report.
I hope we have none. But just think of that. The reporter didn't tell me this. A celebrity didn't tell me this. I know what we've done for the last 10 or 12 years down on the border. And we're at our lowest amount of camps on the ground in our company's history.
So great.
So I know the man did what he said he would do. I know that.
So what happens if we lose the House and or the Senate? Do you think there's going to be any hope after President Trump when he's done with his term?
I never run out of hope. Okay, I think this country was built on hope. We all wanted something better. That's why we have a country that's almost 250 years old. There's always hope. It would be better for him and better for Congress if they're not battling a lot of legal problems and them trying to impeach him like they did in the last administration. We need to do our part. Everybody in America that has family, that's on Social Security, that you talk about helping your parents and everything, and for your kids and everything, do your part. Hold the House and the Senate. You're not voting for Donald Trump. You're voting for yourself. You're voting for Social Security.
And that's a problem because a lot of people that did vote for Trump are going to be home during this coming midterm. We're expecting many of them to not come out and vote. So we may very well lose the House and or the Senate
Well, midterms are always a challenge.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the president at the top of the ticket.
Mhm.
But Susie Wiles was on set with us at the Mom View, and she said President Trump is going to be campaigning because he realizes that, you know, there is so much at stake, and he is the one that gets out the vote.
Yeah, it's critical for America. It's not critical for Donald Trump. You know, think of a guy that's a multi-billionaire
Right.
that's give up 12 or 15 years of his life to serve this country.
It's amazing, yeah.
Tried to assassinate him a couple of times. Just think of that. You know, he's out there for us. Now, people can say what they want to. Social Security needs to be on his legacy. He's a legacy president. We need to get it on his legacy. That's where it needs to be, and he can handle it. Look at all the things that they've thrown at him, from the courtroom to anything and all in between. And he's a good guy. His heart's in the right place. And if we'll give him the House and the Senate, we're not giving it to him. We're giving it to America. Think about it. Vote for yourself this time. Get off the couch and go vote in midterm. Give this man what he needs. Let him have the House and Senate to work with him so they're not dragging him through the courthouse and trying to impeach him. Let him fix this for you, because he's already said he's not for a cut. Let him be a man of his word. Let him prove it to you.
You know, I'm going to tell you why we always have this problem in the midterm, especially when our president, if you will, the one that we standing for America is because everybody thinks he's there. He's there, we're good. They don't understand the power of the midterms. The presidential election sets the standard and the path, but the midterms determine whether or not it's going to continue. And that's what we need to make sure that moms know out there. Everyone, if you got up and you voted in 2024 like your life depended on it, then you better get up, because your life depends on it again. Do you want things to keep going in the right direction? Do you want the president to be able to do these things that you know that he has the ability to do? We've got to give him the time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And, you know, he won by a bunch. He won all the swing states. Look at the mandate he has. American people said, we want to change. We want somebody that's for America first. He's already proven that in lots of things, but he hasn't been there but 14 or 15 months. I mean, we have to give him the time. You know, 4 years is a short period of time. He has to have the full 4 years to undo the harm that was done and progress us forward. These jobs that he's bringing back to America right now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
These jobs, and we send product to a lot of these jobs all over the United States. He is bringing so much economy back that we're going to have a shortage in the labor problem. But we had that 100 years ago. You know, think about when we had legal immigration that came through Ellis Island. You know, I think it played out around 1954, started around early 1900s. We brought 20 million people in this country the right way to work in this country. There's nothing wrong with immigration if you do it the right way. But when you're trafficking drugs and raping and killing women and children, and the cartel's doing that, and you're enabling them to do that because you open the border, because you put the welcome mat out, that was a disgrace for this country. It had to stop. And if you didn't vote for Donald Trump for anything except stopping the carnage that was at the border, you made a good vote. Just think of that. And everything else he does for us is your bonus. And he'll keep your Social Security.
Your advice to the moms that are watching about voting. We don't know, Joe. Some moms just don't vote. They don't get involved in the process. And we keep saying your vote matters and there's consequences to votes. What would you say to our moms?
Well, the moms have to get out and vote this time.
Yeah.
This is the most critical midterm in our 250-year history.
Yeah.
This is it. You got a great program. We got to start getting out of the hole that we've been in for a long time now.
It's just bringing the message across, right, to all these voters. You've mentioned swing states. There were 7 swing states that President Trump won. And I clearly remember the lines of people waiting 3, 4, 5 hours to be able to vote. And these are people that voted for President Trump. We just need to bring back that enthusiasm back this coming November for midterm. So how do we do that? Like, what is the right messaging where they're going to understand the importance of Social Security and the importance of them coming out to vote and making sure that we save the House and the Senate, and that we get it so that President Trump can fulfill his promises?
Well, everybody that's on Social Security needs to talk to their neighbor or their child, you know, or their brother or their sister. I mean, if you're not happy you're getting Social Security, but you're happier that you're getting it and you're not. So, okay, so you're getting Social Security. Talk it up. Because I'm telling you, it's not that it might happen. It's going to happen.
Right.
People say, oh,
inevitable.
don't worry, they're going to pay it. You can't pay it if you don't have the money.
That's right.
That's the hard thing to do, is pay your bills if you got no money. We can do that. And that's why me and Dave Walker, he's former Comptroller General of the United States, we have a tour starting probably in September, going to run about 20 cities, run through October, talking about and educating people on Social Security. Most people think, oh, it's going to run out, it ain't going to be there. Unless we stop the program, unless the United States says there's no more Social Security, you will get a check when you get retirement age. It just may not be at the percentage you think it's going to be. It's a pay-as-you-go program, but it's an insurance program. I get really tired listening to the lawmakers say, well, Joe, that's their pension. That's not their pension. That's not what it is.
Yeah.
It's an insurance policy, and we spread it out. And that's what we need to do. And you think about what I said earlier about how many people are paying in. You got 2.4 paying in for every person drawing. It was 160. That made it work. People were living to be 60, and now we're living to be 80. We got it all working against us now. And everybody thinks about, well, they stole our money. There's no money in the trust fund because the government took it. They did borrow money out of it, and they put actually IOUs back in the trust fund for it. It never went to our balance sheet that we actually owed it. So every month, say we take in $1 million and we owe $1.2 million in Social Security, they'll cash or go sell bonds for $200,000 to make that happen. And that's what we're doing right now. But the trust fund runs out completely to where you'd have to do the whole thing at that time.
This is a force of warning to all moms out there.
All moms. This is important, more important to moms. My mom was 38 years old with her husband in the hospital, a VA hospital. My younger brother had open heart surgery 70 years ago. That was pretty experimental. And 3 little boys at home and no way to feed them. Thank God we had a little bit of Social Security. She said, Joe, watch for the mailman. I didn't know what that meant until I finally seen that little gold colored envelope, that green check, and I bring it in there. And she would finish that pair of pants or that shirt. And my older brother would stay with my dad because he was paralyzed, would walk to the store. She'd cash that check and pay the pair a month of bills off.
Wow.
Bring 1 bag of groceries home. That was the happiest day she had of the month because we didn't know anybody. But if it hadn't been for Social Security, Mom probably had to get rid of one of us. Maybe 2 of us. I don't know.
Maybe. It's so good to see you again. I thank you for coming on the show.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate having you.
Very good discussion.
Very
important.
Thank you for
This
joining
right
us.
here, what y'all are doing, and the people that watch you, you multiply that, and they'll make Social Security solvent.
And the message is simple: get out and vote.
That's all you have to do.
Joe from Texas, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
y'all for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Coming up, more on the current issues facing our country, including thoughts on the midterm elections, ICE, and more. Don't go away.
Hello, I'm Josh Mann, Managing Editor of The Lion. The Lion is an initiative of the Herzog Foundation, and we publish articles covering a wide range of issues facing American families and culture, especially related to the education of children. In covering these topics, we also touch on aspects of parenting, family life, faith, government, and other relevant cultural topics. We publish news stories every day aiming to produce timely, critical, must-read news articles and resources for families, educators, and leaders. Read the latest in education and cultural news at readlion.com. We also offer easy-to-digest daily and weekly email newsletters. Subscribe today at readlion.com/subscribe.
There is power in being a mom because we truly care. Nobody's going to care more about your children than you. And that's what this group is about, is real women getting together to fight real battles for our country.
Moms for America is a national movement of moms reclaiming our culture for truth, family, freedom, and the Constitution.
And I will tell you, I'm a journalist, but I am a mama bear. And I am a mama bear till the last breath in my body. And that's the most important thing I've ever done with my life.
Never, never underestimate the mother who's protecting her child. She will outfight fear. She will outlast danger. And she will outlove the world. And you surely do not mess with Mama Bear.
You can't push anything on our kids. We will stand up for our kids no matter what the consequences may be.
Moms for America is one of the most important organizations in saving our republic.
There are eyes, there are ears, and they're the most fierce fighters for our kids that we will ever know.
Every mission has two parts, those who give and those who do. And when we come together, we are stronger together in fulfilling that mission. An investment in Moms for America is an investment in the future. And we literally hold the future of America in our hands.
In part, Rod Martin achieved some of his American dream through his role as a member of the pre-IPO startup team at PayPal. Rod is also the chairman of the board for the Institute for the American Future. He studied political and economic thought at Cambridge University and has been labeled one of America's leading public intellectuals. We are very fortunate to have him join us today. Thank you so much, Rod, for being here today.
It's great to be here.
I'm one of those people that says he's one of America's great intellectuals. I just
Yes.
gonna say.
Thank you.
Well, you surely have been educating us on many subjects. It's been very interesting to hear you speak, and I'm a fan now too. So there you go.
There you go. And it's great to have you back on the show. So I would like, I don't know what these ladies want to talk about, okay? Because they asked me, so what
much.
should we talk to him about? And I said, he can talk about anything, pick a subject. But I want to talk about the midterm elections.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of stuff that's wrapped around in that, and maybe that'll roll them in on their concerns. I really like where we're going. And it will all stop, hard stop, if we do not win the House and the Senate. And as of today, we will lose miserably. And the big issue that we have is getting people to realize that the presidency sets the tone and the path, but the midterms determine whether or not it continues. And they all think President Trump's in, so we're good. How do we help them realize how bad it is?
Well, they really do need to realize it. This is always about turnout, and especially in a midterm election where you don't have the president at the top of the ticket.
Right.
If people don't actually not just go to the polls, but take their friends to the polls, we lose. The Democrats are brilliant at organizing. That's what they do. That's what the labor unions do. That's what MoveOn.org does. That's what all these different groups that are popping up all over the country. You're seeing all these signs, against the Iraq War. And they all look exactly the same, and they came off the same printing press, and
off the same bus.
Yes, and they look exactly like the ones a few weeks ago for the other three things that the Democrats wanted to do. There's just a tremendous amount of money and organizational strength behind that versus basically moms. And if moms do their job and focus in, realize, yes, this really matters. I know I'm busy. I know I have 5,000 things to do, but I've actually got to get my friends to the polls. It's transformative, and we win. Now, I want to encourage you a little bit. It's not all about turnout. I think the president's doing some tremendous things to get us over the line. The first of those, of course, is the economy, which I know a lot of people feel like they're struggling right now, but we turned a real corner at the end of last year when for the first time in 4 years, wage growth outpaced inflation. So wages are growing again, and that's the leading edge of this $18 trillion in new foreign investment coming into the United States that the president has gone and recruited since last January. There's nothing like it in history. Nothing compares to this. That's almost 2/3 of the size of the entire American economy. It's just extraordinary. And that's turning into data centers and manufacturing plants, jobs that we were promised for a generation would never come back to America. But they are coming because of the president's policies and especially because of the One Big Beautiful Bill. So if moms don't turn out and help us keep the House and the Senate, and I think people are going to want to help them because I think the economy is going to really kick into gear right around the end of June, beginning of July. You're going to see some things that just stagger people, like we did in 1984 when Reagan was going to lose for sure, and then he won 49 states because everything kicked into gear at the right time in the 84 cycle. I think we're going to see that. I think that's going to make a difference. I'm also encouraged by the likely end of racial gerrymandering, which will make at least 21 seats competitive for us that haven't been for years. And I'll just say to that, racial gerrymandering is wrong on its face. It violates the Civil Rights Act. It violates the Voting Rights Act. It violates the Constitution. It's just morally wrong, but also it's needless because there are over 60 African Americans in Congress. Only 20 of them are in a racially gerrymandered district. So 2/3 of them were elected largely by white people. This is not 1965.
Right.
So when the Supreme Court takes that down, that puts 20 more seats in play that have never been in play in modern times. I think we've got a real shot. We could even grow the majority, but it really is going to come back to moms.
You know, and I think I guess from our perspective, we're so pleased. President Trump coming in, fighting for women's spaces, women's sports, Title IX. I mean, he's done a lot to protect the family, to restore parental rights for the families, the economy, like you said, the Trump accounts, all these. And it's shocking that more people maybe are not in the camp of we're in a good spot and we're going to a good place. Because the polling maybe shows differently, and it's shocking to me.
I don't believe
Well,
the polling.
mainstream media, it's part of the problem as well.
Well,
Right?
100%.
We've had issues to like what's happening with ICE in Minneapolis or what had happened, and we know that a lot of voters bring their votes, come to the polls with emotions, so it becomes an emotional thing. So do you believe that these types of situations that have happened, that have pretty much smeared some of the great things that President Trump has done will be something that may hurt him not him, but may hurt Republicans during this upcoming midterm?
It hurts us nonstop. I mean, the playing field is not level. The refs always call the game for the other side, and we have to overcome that, and we frequently do, which tells you how big a majority is probably out there if Americans actually knew the truth. If you're talking about Minneapolis, yeah, there was some disruption in Minneapolis. That's true. But if you were watching CNN, did you know that lots of it was bought and paid for? That we intercepted a Signal chat group among the organizers that talked about how they were training people to physically provoke police to draw a reaction they could film. Did you know that? No, not if you watched MSNBC, not if you watched CBS, although CBS is getting better with Barry Weiss, but it's still not where it ought to be. You know, the truth is there were 10 operations exactly the same as Minneapolis going on in cities around the country at the same time. You only heard about Minneapolis because all of the rest of them had no such organized movement to disrupt and even attack police. And when you have that, yeah, you can get some dramatic video, and if the media won't cover it fairly, people are deceived. But I'm hoping people will get their news from the mom view, and that's how we save America.
Telling everyone the good news that we have. That was a really good cue up. You're gonna become a regular.
You're a favorite. So one of the things that concerns me is so there's a lot of things that concern me. I just want to come out with that, but the president is passing all of these executive orders, which are, I want to state, are completely within the Constitution of the United States. He is directing his cabinet. That's exactly what an executive order is for, not what other presidents have done in making law from the White House. However, another president can come in and change it, and these laws aren't being codified. And I don't know why Congress is, while I know we don't have a big bump in Congress, okay? We don't have a big lead there. We don't have a big majority. But we do have, I believe, enough people that could get some of these common sense things codified, and they're not doing it.
I agree that they're not doing their job. I will give them this much credit. We now have a 1-seat majority in the House of Representatives. 1 seat. If one guy has a bad day and doesn't show up for a vote, we're toast. If one guy is a rhino or a never Trumper, we're toast. And that's just a terrible margin. So again, your mom's got to turn out and help us elect more Republicans.
That's right.
You got to do it.
So not only do we need to get out, we need to make sure that we're not just holding the majority, but we're adding to it in both houses.
Yeah, we got to grow,
especially the House.
And as far as them doing their job on the things that are currently being done through executive order, first of all, the president has tremendous discretion to order the executive branch, which the Constitution says works for him.
That's right.
You know, Supreme Courts have said otherwise through the decades since FDR. Congress has stripped away a lot of executive power. A lot of your viewers may not realize that we sort of had a silent coup in the 1930s under Democrat Franklin Roosevelt. They knew they had overwhelming power. They knew they had veto-proof majorities in both houses, and so they created this system of independent agencies. That's where you have 2.8 million federal employees making rules for every jot and tittle of your life. It started right there, and the reason for it was not to reduce FDR's personal power. It was his knowledge that he wouldn't be there forever, and so they populated all these agencies that were unaccountable. You can't fire these people. They make rules that have the force of law. They have courts in their own agencies that they judge your case in, and you, until recently, you couldn't even get an appeal to a real federal court. You know, they've got all these powers, and the president doesn't get to appoint almost any of them. They are almost all people who were hired by people who were hired by people who were hired by people who were originally hired by Franklin Roosevelt. And that's why it seems like nothing changes when there's an election. You know, it seems like, oh, we elected a Republican and nothing really mattered. Yeah, because the whole government's working against him. And we saw a lot of that in Trump's first term.
Right.
Oh, big
Trump
time.
even had trouble with his own appointees, but you got to understand, there were 2.8 million federal employees. Only 5,000 of them get to be chosen by Donald Trump, and most of those have to be confirmed by the Senate, and the Senate wouldn't do it because the Democrats obstructed. So he's running with a skeleton crew trying to run this giant federal government. Okay, fast forward to now. He's got it figured out. He's just whacking them. I mean, we're down in federal employment to the lowest level in my lifetime. Over 50 years since we had a federal employment level this low, and we're just warming up. Donald Trump has eliminated 127 regulations for every one new one.
Amazing.
127 to 1. That is a huge burden off the backs of the American taxpayer, because though those are not actually taxes, they are requirements that you pay money to do something some federal bureaucrat wants you to do. So the biggest of those, of course, is Obama's EPA's endangerment finding that put $1 trillion burden on the American taxpayer on totally ridiculous science. And Trump has finished the process. It was about a 9-month process to get that eliminated. Well, that's $1 trillion back into the American economy that wasn't there before. And I know that may not be a lot to you guys, but actually I think $1 trillion is a pretty good bit of money.
That's a bit.
This is a good thing.
I've never even seen $1 billion, so $1 trillion, I can't even fathom the number. Maybe that's the problem. Is that people are like, what does that even mean?
It just seems like fake money. You know, it's like trillion, billion, but you're just like, what is this?
And yet it's incredibly real. And you paid for it.
Yes, I know, but I'm just saying it's so out of the, it's so big, it's so huge, and they talk about it almost like it's pennies.
Yeah.
You know, it's like doesn't make any sense to
and the money tree in Washington that doesn't exist. Okay, so that's another thing, is people don't understand where the money from the government comes from. It's like, I ask people all the time, so where does this come from? It's all, money based. It comes from the government. Well, where does government money come from?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you didn't notice that you paid taxes?
Right.
Really?
And your taxes keep going up.
Another thing with FDR, very smart. Let's make it so simple so that people don't even have to think about paying their taxes. We'll just take it right out of their paycheck completely. Okay, so I want to completely eliminate the 16th and 17th Amendments. Okay,
yes.
I'm on a roll, ladies.
You're
sorry.
Absolutely right. The 16th and 17th Amendments are pernicious in a way that people don't really understand. Obviously, the 16th Amendment is income taxes. Obviously, the 17th Amendment is the direct election of senators, which seems like it would be a good thing. Except it wasn't, because this was a 1-2 punch to your gut.
Yep.
What happened is, before 1913, when both of those became part of the Constitution, Before that, the way the federal government raised money was a combination of tariffs, there's that word, and
Back in the day,
also divvying up the remainder of the federal budget based on the census
The state
and
appropriations.
sending an invoice to Tallahassee or Jefferson City or Little Rock or Austin. So the state legislature had to actually raise the money to send to Washington. Well, that's why the 17th Amendment matters, because the senators were chosen by the state legislators, who then had to raise the money if the senators raised taxes. It was all brilliantly thought out. The founding fathers knew what they were doing. So what you had was a people's house, the House of Representatives that we elect as individuals. You had a sort of House of Ambassadors. The Senate was a House of Ambassadors representing each sovereign state. And then you had the president, who was elected by the whole country. And that system guaranteed that everybody got a voice, every interest was reflected, everyone's part of the debate, and your taxes don't go crazy and your federal government doesn't become unconstitutionally large. And that's what happened in 1913. We undid all of that. Yep. And if you chart it, you'll see the growth of government from that point. You've been going since the Revolution, and it's kind of like this. And after 1913, it does this.
Yeah.
And it's all because of the two things you just cited. So good for you.
I just want to get rid of them. Well, I want moms to know. Everybody says there's no path to do that. And I said, that is not true. If the American people know what it is and that they can get rid of it, they will rise up and get rid of it. But they don't know, because then there's the whole education system that's dumbed us down for years. Okay, ladies, I'm going to stop talking.
What are your projections for this upcoming midterms, Rod?
I think our chances are really good. I mean, first of all, I think you guys are doing great work. I think moms will come out. I know they have before.
Moms, we have to.
They did in 24. I would contend they did in 20 and had it stolen from them.
Right.
They did in 16. And the truth is that grassroots, just normal people who just love their country and love their kids and want to make a difference in the lives of their own children and families and moms and dads, those are the heart of America. Not all these organizations, not all of these moneyed interest groups. And we can make a difference. And you saw it in all these school board elections across the country, where you guys and Moms for Liberty and different groups got engaged, went to the school board. Biden's FBI actually went after these people as subversives.
Domestic terrorists.
Yes, this is mom and dad going down and standing up for their kids. These are the least dangerous people on the planet. And
well,
yet,
not to them.
And yet the most consequential, and that's exactly right. Those moms and dads are incredibly dangerous to the status quo.
Right.
To the kind of bureaucrats, the deep staters in Washington who want to use your schools and the money you spend to pay for them to indoctrinate your children in things you do not believe and to teach your children that you're the bad guy. That is a threat to them. And so, yeah, they were very hostile to the moms and dads who showed up at those school board meetings, and that should tell you, show up at your school board meetings. And not just there, but your state legislature, anywhere you can get to. If you can go to Washington and talk to your congressman, do it. Whatever you're able to do, no matter how little you're able to do, you got to do your part.
And at the very least, go out and vote your values.
Yes.
I was just want to say, too, a lot of our moms are getting involved in campaigns. They're getting involved with, their school boards in their area, their state representatives. They're getting involved in making a difference and helping candidates that are their values and that are important to them.
Candidates, right? Governor and Congress and various different state legislatures. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the moms are, to the moms. I mean, they're not letting anyone raise their kids or change their country or destroy the future. So we need more of them. And so this is why this is so inspiring. They're the greatest influencers in their home and in their community. We love the dads, but those moms, they've got the greatest influence on those kids and their communities and their schools.
They absolutely do.
So what are your final thoughts to all the moms out there? I think you've given a good clarion call, but they might And you'll hear it again that they're the important ones that we need. We really need them.
Well, they really are. And look, it's our country. It's our country. It's not some bureaucrat's country. It's not some international organization's country. It's not some elected official in Washington's country. It's yours. They work for you. And to the degree that the system has been designed in the 80 years, the 90 years or so, since FDR did these things, since the Democrats did these things, let's put a name on it. There is a group of people who has done this, and it's called Democrats. And those people have set up a system that removes more and more power from the area you can affect in an election. Donald Trump, whatever his imperfections may be, gets it. He understands that scam. He's ripping it down tooth and nail, root and branch, and we've got to support him. So we've got to turn out. We've got to get these people elected to Congress, to the House, to the Senate, to our state legislatures. We've got to get it done so that we can actually return power to mom and dad. And my guess is your moms are not going to want to pay for a $7 trillion federal government. They're not going to want a federal government that intrudes in every area of their life. And so government will shrink, self-government will grow, and freedom will ring throughout the land.
I love it.
So do we keep the House and the Senate? Going back to my question, are we going to keep the House? I want to hear your view on that. Your honest opinion on that. What do you think is going to happen?
Yes, and I
We're
think
going to keep it.
Partly because of the redistricting, partly because of the economic growth. I think we're going to have an unstoppable freight train of economic growth that really gets up to steam in the middle of the summer. That is exactly the Reagan model, and Trump is duplicating that Reagan model brilliantly. My friend George Gilder, who is no fan of his tariffs, nevertheless wrote a great piece that we published at rodmartin.org about the fact that tax policy is really the engine of growth. If you can quit squelching entrepreneurship, if you can quit squelching hiring, every tax dollar they take from a business is a dollar that doesn't go to an employee. If you can start actually getting those things right, America booms, the economy grows, there's a future for the kids, the young people are able to buy a house. All these things happen and they're in reach. And Donald Trump has already laid the foundation for that. I think it picks up and really reaches its full head of steam roughly the 1st of July. I think we'll do great in November, but we won't do great in November if we don't turn out because they cheat and because they are hyper-organized far more than we will ever be. So we have to do our part.
Well, you heard that, moms? Come out and vote. Rod, thank you so much for joining us today. It was great. It's great to talk to intellectuals like you. More of the Mom View after this break.
It's hard work being a mom today. So it is very important to have an organization that really cares about moms.
The role of parent is the most powerful position in the world because we've been entrusted with the souls of our future leaders. And if you're wondering how you could really wrap your mind around these principles and how you can put feet to your faith, I would definitely recommend that you find out more about, support, and get involved with Moms for America.
The Herzog Foundation exists to catalyze and accelerate the development of quality, Christ-centered K-12 education so that families and culture flourish. To do so, we've created comprehensive programs designed for Christian schools across the nation. One of those programs is found at readlion.com. The Lion carries news articles covering issues especially related to the education of children. These are timely, critical, must-read articles for families, educators, and leaders. Another program is the Herzog Foundation Institute, where we provide training for Christian educators led by national thought leaders in subjects such as marketing, donor development, and culture building. All training events are fully funded by the Herzog Foundation. And finally, with new Christian schools popping up all over the country, we've created a free online resource to help with the process. HF Schoolbox provides lessons and free mentorship to help launch groups navigate the startup process every step of the way. We're the Herzog Foundation. You can find out more at herzogfoundation.com.
There is power in being a mom because we truly care. Nobody's going to care more about your children than you. And that's what this group is about, is real women getting together to fight real battles for our country.
Moms for America is a national movement of moms reclaiming our culture for truth, family, freedom, and the Constitution.
And I will tell you, I'm a journalist, but I am a mama bear. And I am a mama bear till the last breath in my body. And that's the most important thing I've ever done with my life.
Never, never underestimate the mother who's protecting her child. She will outfight fear. She will outlast danger. And she will outlove the world. And you surely do not mess with Mama Bear.
You can't push anything on our kids. We will stand up for our kids no matter what the consequences may be.
Moms for America is one of the most important organizations in saving our republic.
There are eyes, there are ears, and they're the most fierce fighters for our kids that we will ever know.
Every mission has two parts, those who give and those who do. And when we come together, we are stronger together in fulfilling that mission. An investment in Moms for America is an investment in the future. And we literally hold the future of America in our hands.
Welcome back to the Mom View. What a great show filled with so much great information. Incredible.
Boy, we got a lesson on Social Security. That was great from Joe. I mean, we really needed to kind of understand. I always thought it's just going to go bankrupt and it's never coming back.
I thought that.
So
but I still don't trust the government.
I know.
But he made some really good points.
He sure did.
He doesn't trust the government, but he trusts Donald Trump to do the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about this, everyone's opinion.
Right.
You know, and then Rod, I mean, he is just a wealth of information. And I really do think our moms got really a good talking to about why America is great and what we have to do to hold on to it. And
we are the answer. I mean, I say this all the time, and I think not enough moms believe me. And it's not like I'm trying to put a heavy burden on you ladies. It's just you really are the solution. You really are the solution. What you teach and nurture in your home, and when you go out and influence in your community, however small that may be, just talking to friends, and then going out and voting your values, we win.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it comes down to a very simple step, and our guests said it, right? And we all agree that it comes down to just as simple as get up, go out and vote.
Tell all your friends, bring your kids, drag your husband.
Yes.
Tell your friends, tell your
Bring
kids.
a couple of people with you to the voting booth. And
we have vote share, and those moms who are like, I can't pick up my backpacks. I don't remember when the date is. Get your buddies together and vote share. I'll watch your kids while you vote, vice versa, and I'll remind you that you need to go vote. So buddy together, and let's get together and let's a shockwave across this country and show what mom power really looks like.
There's so much at stake. So we really have to get out there. That's it for today, moms. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next week. And remember that you can find us on all of our social media platforms, or you can look us up at www.themomview.com.